Ready. Create. I guess. Going. Right. So I rejigged basically completely what I had last week. But I never had last week because it was all wrong. Plain and simple. Bad. So I figured out the way I wanted it to be is that I need to have a difficulty manager that set the configs. So there are configs here. Kind of mono behaviors, by that a little bit. But then I'll have different difficulties. So 0, there's a 1 and 2 right now. There's going to be more in the future, probably, most definitely. And then the difficulty manager will have a difficulty level. Right now I'm setting as a little value here, but it will probably be dynamically set while you're playing. And by that, it chooses kind of the difficulty config that then tells, in this case, I only have the permission configs set up, but these ones will do different things depending on what is tier. So there's going to be a difficulty, and then there's going to be a tier of like difficulty inside that difficulty. If that makes sense. So there's going to be a 1, like it'll be level 1 difficulty, and there's going to then be tiers of like doors. So you can think of it like as you're going down levels, there would be like the 3rd level you'd be on, so it'd have a certain kind of overall difficulty. But in that level, there would be certain amounts of different types of doors. Certain doors would be harder than others. That's where the tiers come in. So like the easy doors, and then eventually there's going to be the harder doors as you're going to go on. The idea here is that we're going to have multiple types of sections that do different things. I've also added the feature that I figured. At first, I had thought that like this would be annoying to have to enter the command to like open the door, but I added an ability so that if I, for some of these simple doors in the beginning at least, this is I, so the door just opens. There's not even a permission anymore. For those, I'm going to see how annoying that is, or maybe even it's better. W, so W is dot. Alright, so you just have to do that code to enter it in. We're not going to use permission slots for those. Or at least for some of the like early on is kind of. I'm going to just test how that feels. Maybe if it's even better and I just kind of want that overall from doors, I might not use the permission system as much and maybe just do it as in like different situations that I might want these permissions or something. I'll probably still have permissions in some fashion, but I might less if this kind of just proves to be a it feels better, or like a better loop to it. I feel kind of like going back and forth between terminals, maybe a little much on some points. So I'm going to see how it goes. Just going to keep doing that for now, but obviously there's going to be, call it this thing. So sector G, I really hope it's G. I know the fonts are kind of hard to read. So that'd be E, so that's a dot, and then G, which is dash dash dot, so dot. Yeah, and so this one still has the code because it's a higher tier door, and then I go grant HH. And the door is open here, and the monster's gonna murder me. Okay, cool. Can I do I? Ooh, okay, I'm safe. All right. So yeah, that's basically the recap of what I've done while off stream. But what I want to do now is a couple of things. So right now I've only added the permission side, which probably to everyone else doesn't mean anything, but that means just what actually happens once I've received a code on these. So these code doors, all these doors have a most code injector, and all that I'm editing right now is this part. So this part has a config reference. And so this would normally be where like it would receive whatever code you're putting in. Like the Morse code. Morse code part is this. And then this would just handle either giving you the permission or giving you a code that you'd have to enter the terminal, or it would be, in this case, I've also added the ability so that it can just auto-execute whatever the permission. That's kind of like handling that whole side of it. But I do want to add the part for the actual Morse code section, because obviously that's another main part of the difficulty that's going to have to ramp up, is that these codes are going to be a lot more difficult over time. So that's good now. I think, okay, so with this Morse code, if I'm making terminals here, code, do I need the other? So this would generate code with each activation. Like each time you enter in the code, it has to switch. I feel like it's probably more going to be enacted on the prefab level. Like if it's a specific thing that needs to refresh, it would be kind of weird if the text in the doors refreshed each time I did this. So I'm going to instead leave that and then repeat without reactivation. That means, again, that's probably going to be on the door front. That means that I don't need to like initiate this Morse code thing. A bunch of things that no one else cares about. The main thing that I need to care about for different hard code. Okay, so in that case, let's go to difficulty settings and set that portion up. So I'm gonna need a new class. It's kind of annoying to make a class for just like a single, but anywhere. Probably not. I guess I could make a list of strings. That is something I could definitely do. List of strings. The only reason I want to do that is in the case that I want to maybe in the future add another definitely possible. Just make it and then so class. I need to code config is here, so let's go and create another C#. And this will be called Morse code config. Go. This doesn't need config. But build it. It's literally nothing. Okay. Do I want these? And all references. Yeah. Okay, so make this not inherit. I'm gonna completely erase everything that was in the. Not gonna exist. I might as well delete it, but I'm gonna leave it. But literally nothing I did in that stream will be relevant anymore. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do required code template. I like calling it that instead of just required code because it's a template and most. Yeah, I need to make that a string. I kind of forgot. There. Alrighty, and then what I want to do here is add the same tooltip here that I have made before. I should probably const this tooltip. I wonder if something that inherits from this tooltip class. I wonder if I can put that. A good space to put that in. A code util. Let's put it below in code util. See if I can do that. So what I was gonna do, little public class Morse code tip inherits from tip attribute. And then I'm gonna really forget how these things. Is there like an auto action? Structure. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Do is I move that part. Then I'm going this nice fancy little string back to code util. Paste that in there. Beautiful little tooltip that I can place anywhere I want. Should then tell me what I want to hear. And then, yeah, got it. Tooltip. So pretty. So that here, and I want to check. Command Shift F. Okay. Command Shift this. Entire solution. Find all. I have other ones of these hanging around somewhere. Code utils. No. Okay. So these are the. Right. That I will be removing in a second. Well, yeah. So these are the only locations here. I just need to replace this with my Morse code tooltip. And go in here. I'll replace this one because I'm going to field in a second. But before I nuke the field, I need to okay, so when I'm generating the code here, I have start function. I'm generating code. Probably want to do it before then. I probably don't do it in a way I can start here. So crash into here. I know I've skipped multiple steps here. Need to first take this guy, add it to items. Config and call it Morse code configs. Close. Code config. And How many tiers of code configs do I want to have on a given time? The thing about this is this actually does. I'm also going to make 5 a const, but I think 5 this is fine. But do want I'm going to say 10. I may not use all 10. I may even just have like some that are like pretty much nothing changed between them on each level. But I do think that that'll leave me some wiggle room. But first, yeah, we should also go difficulty setting. Const here. Public int, public const int permission config count. Yes, technically it's length because it's an array, but I like the count better. 5. And this to source code 10. Paste that there. 5 there. 10 there. Of course, addition can be broken in units, but I'm gonna have a understanding that when I'm making this, that I'm not gonna go change the counts here. I really want to, and then I will change the counts here and then later. But yeah, okay, so I have made that part. The reason why I wanted to also make those count once is here I have a 1 to 5. I want to change that to difficulty settings dot permission config count. So that done, and then now I can go over to Mr. Base Code Terminal and start figuring out stuff. Okay, so the way Create Code Terminal does it is it goes into thingy here, which actually I might want to modify this. The other thing I was going to do here, not that microphone. Okay. The other thing I'm going to change how current settings is got, because value here is fixed, and I wanted to have some variant certain values. Yeah, that was how I was going to do it. So what I was going to do okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go back to difficulty manager. I write our keyboard shortcuts are messing me up. Okay, so in difficulty manager, instead of having current settings, I want to have this be a method that then takes in a parameter. Yeah, okay. And do that. Not a present. So first of all, let's make this a private. No, I guess no, it doesn't be defined that level. I just need to set the difficulty level, and know that now going to be a method. Ooh, little stringy string, little string attached. I'd say that's a bad thing, but this is string. So difficulty mod. I don't know. Alright, so the idea is here that I'm going to maybe not get setting. Current setting. It's current settings. Might be settings. Okay. And so right now, all this is going to do is go and call difficulty settings. Difficulty settings at get closest. It's just a safe version of VLOOKUP. Why is it not like? Oh yeah, okay. Gotta put the little instance here. Instance. Instance. There we go. Alright, hallelujah. Happy fun. Yeah. But with that set, so this will do. First, obviously I renamed this, and I need to go now to breakcode. Let's do this. Put an empty string in here for now. Later. Yes, probably like a null. Get current settings should never give me. The only reason to do it is if the instance doesn't exist. So I think I want to go back to difficulty manager, and I want to build out some of these keys. So again, so let's make some const public string const permission. I'm missing an S. Permission. I forgot. His const string, right? Sorry. Const string permission underscore hotkey. Yeah, let's do it short and sweet. And then I'll just call out, yeah. Do that, do a similar thing with Morse code. A Morse code hotkey. Morse. 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 Okay. And this is that I can then make a static dictionary. make the static. I probably shouldn't make it static. I have implications if I do. Not make it static. We'll just make it private little dictionary over here. Private dictionary strings and int and all this difficulty mod values. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and then go. So yeah, probably yeah. Make this values here, and the default values are going to fit if I can connect them. Square brackets. So in the square brackets, I go mission mod key, oop, comma 0. Or is it? Oh, they want them in curlies, right? Maybe they want them in curlies. Curlies? Is that what you wanted? Yeah, you want curlies. Of course you do. Oh, Manti actually works in this. Cool. Nice. And then there you go. Now I have 2 entries in my dictionary, and then I want to have a couple of things. I'll have a public static, not public string. I want a public static void set that difficulty value, take a string, and it'll take an int, which of course I should declare the values here, int and value, and lookout underscore instance dot or different things. I guess the safest way, yeah, is just to go key equals a value. And int. All right, not doing difficulty settings, doing difficulty. Alrighty. And so we've got that set. And then I'm going to go over here. Go and we'll start off with an index value. Index. Make that equal to this. I go try if grab here. Mod key. Actually, I should also do a dot a difficult. Not empty because it will error out. Oh. Try get value of difficulty key comma out and value. If we have a mod value, take that index value and we will plus equals the mod value. Now I have a system in which I can adjust I difficulty based on this mod key, and the mod key is derived there. Even though this gives the full difficulty settings, I can always set it up in a way that, like, if it two different parts of this and need to fall under two different hotkeys, which shouldn't really by design, but if they do, then I can still just ask for it twice. It will give it to me. But okay, so now back here, go to here. I'm going to change this get current settings to difficulty manager dot mod key. And yeah, so I've got the permission configs, got closest. That all works. And now we're going to finally loop back to code terminals. Because now, instead of this, I'm going to be defining a public by public life. Okay, so we're typing in public int. It's going to be tier. And the tier is going to start at 0, but like the code for permission. Interesting that I made this a private field. Probably actually do want this. I guess the tiers have to be kind of private because they aren't. They only get generated like at this point, right? If they get changed, then yeah, by prefab they will be a certain tier. But fine, I can work around that. Okay. So tier, and then I want to paste part of this. Then I do this field part, that part, and I want to have it say Morse code config count. Did by that, and for generate code. So there's two ways I could do this. If I'm going about it with the system that I'm only really going to set generate code, like it's only going to be reset once. I think the template. Generated code template. If that is the case, I can just make this private in a variable, and then I set this variable instead of making code config. Probably okay. If I do go back and I need the config for other values, presumably I can change that later. Now I think that's a better way. Let's go down here. Let's paste it down there. Actually, no, the required code is on. Okay, yeah, so even more because I only need. Okay. So R. Really wish there was just give this rider. Let's make my day. Okay, so required code. Oh, actually, I do want to rename it. Required code template is what I want to call this. Again, because it's not actually like the code that I'm requiring. It is the template to generate the code. And it didn't actually rename that time. What is it? R. Is it twice? Control R, Control R. Wow. That is wild, Visual Studio. Not one. You have to do it twice. Okay. Whatever you want. Or is it? Wow, yeah. Okay. So wild. I don't know. Why is Visual Studio comp? Anyways. I'm going to check it here. So I go hard code. I'm going to set it here to be equal to difficulty manager dot get current settings, and it's going to be difficulty manager dot code hotkey dot code configs dot get closest here. Right. Dot read. Okay, and so now that loop has been completed. Before I actually let Unity compile this, yeah, I can figure out the code template. I'm gonna obviously nuke all the existing codes, but I can not that many I have to do, so it'll be fine to redo them. Okay, so we can look at this. Or I haven't even force compiled it yet, so there is still time. All right, I'm gonna keep it. 1 second. Temporarily make a private public peak required code. Save that, leave it there for a second, and then I can that to gauge what here to set it at. And then back here, and now I can go and I have it here, and I have codes down there. Okay, so seems to have kept those. So let's set actually gears here. Oh, did I not make? I didn't make these sizable. Yeah, I'm gonna do the stuff on the difficulty settings first, then I will set the doors on. I'll know on what like levels are supposed. And it's just a. I have 3 basic doors in the first part, and then I have level thing, flex door, very complex code. Very complex code would probably be like. Okay, so say 10, like that's like. Because the tier should ideally be set up in a way. Whatever the level is, like the hardest thing. because then like it doesn't matter what difficulty set it at. Difficulty scale that, right? So compared to a 1, then like if on level 1 difficulty, you know, a 1 is a 1 and a 10 is a 10, level 20 difficulty, 1 could be 20, but 10 can be 1,000 or something, right? Like it's way more difficult comparatively. Obviously, that's a high amount, but like it's there. I need to recompile anyway, so let's recompiled. Compiled. I'm look at my difficulties. That's what I was going to do. Okay. And actually, it's kind of cool that I'm going to here doing this because show one set up difficulty settings the way I did. So the nice thing about these things is that zero extends from one, basically, or no, one extends from zero and two extends from one. Anything that I make as a change on zero will automatically be in one, and then I can override it in one, override it in two. But by default, they'll kind of propagate up. The thing about having the idea of subvariance. So yeah, that's what one is a prefab variant of zero, and two is a prefab variant of one. I thought it was really cool. So, anyways, back to this. If I'm looking at the whole world here, my Morse code injector for the very end, that section permission was just that. No? Wow, I really made that a lot easier. The level permission. Why's the level permission so? Section permission. The section should be like the hardest of the hard. Okay. We'll reconfigure that then. Okay, so if I was like doing a level 1, right, where someone's really new to this, I would want there to be the letters for like probably even the first 3 categories. So shift star here, star, shift star, shift star. Maybe I go and start do 2. Actually harder letter than letters. That's probably true. Yeah. This, this, this. Harder ones will just, yeah, I guess like the first thing will just be, I'm gonna make you do hard letters, then maybe, yeah, we'll just keep it in hard letters. And then the yeah, I guess this is what, yeah, I just ended up with the exact same thing that I just criticized being kind of silly, but you know. Oh no, right? No, the letter. This is supposed to be the hardest one. So I guess I'm saying in my old demo that I had, that was going to be the letters. I'm thinking like stupid easy, right? Like this should be able to do. Be able to put one letter down, right? I think that's fine. And then I go now to my. Oh right, I haven't applied these changes. Apply to tab 0. There we go. We'll have all these settings. Okay. I want to make 3 settings. I'm just trying to make it go up. Like start shifting down. Maybe that earlier and then earlier and then star dash star dash star money sign. Yes? Yeah. Star money sign. Wait. Not 2 money signs. Maybe for the hardest. Do and money sign. There we go. That's next one. And I need to apply these. Pressing. So like this. Probably super. Start doing signs. And then money sign, money sign. Now we'll do the star and star and star money sign and star money sign. Like and sign and money sign. Alright. That's good enough. I mean, it obviously doesn't. I guess it does. The difficulty scaling probably is more overrides in this. Whereas at least with the other, with this one, when how these ones change, a lot of the values like these things are going to change probably or stay the same from the difficulties up. I don't like the fact that I kind of, but with obviously the Morse codes, it's probably going to be kind of inching up on certain things. Obviously, a lot of this is going to have to play test it, so, but it'll at least get me first kind of step in there. So yeah, so 0 and 1 will both have tier 1 and 2 or as that, and then we'll actually have a tier harder one. More so probably. And for people that don't, probably no one's gonna understand what I'm doing. Maybe they gathered it, but these are codes basically to generate different letters. And so the stars are the easy ones, the ands are the medium ones, dollars are the harder ones, and then number signs are numbers. And these all really relate to just how many characters of Morse code you have to enter in. The easier, like 1 or 2 characters. I think the medium ones are 3 characters, and the hard ones are 4 characters. I split it up. Okay. So now let's get just quickly then setting some of these tier values because all the doors right now are 0. The lowest possible one, which I don't really all of them being that, so I'm going to go search up in. Did not apply these. Tab 2. Okay. And then yeah, so I'm going to go and set up name here Morse code terminal. Morse code terminal. Right, here we go. All the Morse code terminals that I have. So I want to find that first door here. Yes, I don't need to find that one because that's going to be the only tier 0. The next door set that is here, this one. That's this door and that door. These 2 doors. I don't really want to modify this. I will probably at some point make big prefabs be, but later point. Set both of those to 1. This one could be make it 3. A little bit further on. This is fence. Yeah, this is. Oh, the fence can be. That's tier 4. Door I've already done. This door. Tier 2. This door can also. Let's set to like 7 because that's the section from it. And level permission. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So save that. Verify this all works by going start off at difficulty 0. Okay. So this should be an easy. So I and M all the same difficulty. Since because it's 0, so all these ones should be. Is that it? That's A, so it's the same. Okay, and then just look at what F. Yeah, vector F. Oh, yeah. Dot, dot, dash, dot, 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 dot. Aha. Nice. So then exit airplane mode here. Set this up to 2. And then find that works here. And dash dot. No, dash dot. Go. dot's still the easy one, but now yeah, H. I thought I set this only. Oh, just a config error, but one. I feel like H is hard. That is 4. Should just be. I could check this one. Vector, vector 1, and I go bug view. Yeah, required to template. I just crazy and code. God. Build. I need to go here. I did include H. I guess because H is all dots. That's probably why I declared it as a medium letter. Not like a dot dash dot thing. And I guess I needed more letters in the medium category. Otherwise, like hard would be. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Working as intended. Dot 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 dot. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can do it really quickly. And M Z dash dash and dash dash dot dot. Oh, that's not too bad. Dash dash. Alright, well, 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Okay. So I got full difficulty system with all my doors, all my things there. I mean, I guess assume eventually when I'm spawning in monsters and stuff, there's probably going to be a monster difficulty setting and stuff like that where spawn in different monsters and stuff depending on the difficulty. But that's definitely not going to happen today. My monster is very simple. Not going to change for a while. So. Although I do have monsters. Or not make, but like use. I have an asset. So. Those other things. I'm not really modifying now, but I guess I could verify that these modification keys work. So the way I would verify that is I would just set, for example, Morse code key, let's say 500. Is a ludicrous little value there, but and then in my difficulty manager, I would set it back to 0. So if it doesn't work, it'll be very easy. But if it does work, it should be setting it to the maximum difficulty. E. No, E is it? Oh, right, no. Okay. So it is because I didn't recompile with the difficulty change. I'm just changing it here temporarily, just works, but all that stuff's going to be done through code. Sure. Now that we've done that, H. Yep, that's got the highest difficulty, but my difficulty level being 0. Sweet. Okay, that works. That's gonna be cool because it'll allow people like to set difficulties later on. Like, hey, you want combat to be harder, or your Morse code to be harder or less hard. And it'll allow the difficulty settings to be tuned. Okay, then surprised that one. That's this thing that I had in mind. I think like the next thing I have to start figuring out is the procedural generation stuff and how to like kind of create some rooms that connect to each other. Soon I will be leaving my little test bed behind. Great things. Little test level that I didn't even think it was like the prototype level asset that I got for the walls and everything. Which I'm going to use these assets probably for the foreseeable future because they got the right feel for what I need. So I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm going to figure out how to dynamically kind of some way. I'll also have to figure out the navigation because right now I think it's all static. Oh yeah, the navigation points too. This is how I make my monster be able to move with them. I tell them like, hey, you can move around these areas. There's that, and there's it, or is it all in the window for like? Oh, no, it's projects. There's a specific window for nav mesh. I just can't remember where. I thought it was like just general. No AI. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll need to figure out how to make nav mesh. I think it's all. That's another thing I'm gonna have to figure out if I'm gonna. Procedure generation because the idea now is that I have all these configs and all these setups for the doors is that I should be able to kind of generate some levels and then be able to manage all the difficulties. I want generated levels. I don't want to have to make a bazillion levels. I'd much rather have. Oh, yeah, what I'm going to be doing next. I don't think I'm going to get into it today because I own way too late. Watch this video and along with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll